This is Fantasy Baseball Today from CBSSports.com.
Welcome, everyone, to an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. Two-man crew this week. I'm Adam Azer here with Al Melchior. We will help you set your lineup for Fantasy Week 15. Now, Scott White's not here, but if you want the hitting advice from Scott White, check out his column and Al's pitching column, fantasynews.cbssports.com. Al, you ready to you're kind of like going a doubleheader today. You got the hitting and the pitching planners.
That's right. Yeah, so a little extra rest.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go play two.
All right, let's do it. Starts first with pitchers and hitters. Willie Peralta is a start this week, Al. He's got the Phillies and the Cardinals at home.
Yeah, and those matchups are pretty key for Peralta. There are a lot of two-start options this week, 52 at last count.
Wow.
So you really have your pick of a lot of different options on waivers. Peralta is one who may be available, particularly in some shallower leagues. I think he's pretty much almost a lock as a two-start guy, not going to be necessarily an automatic one-start guy because he's not a big strikeout pitcher, but good enough and has a really pretty strong ground ball tendencies that, again, very, very safe as a two-start pitcher. Those are good matchups right now. The Cardinals were used to thinking of as a tough one, but they're still not really hitting, so Peralta's safe.
All right, a hitter now, Al. Let's see how you do with the hitters. Cole Calhoun, start him.
I think he's close. I wouldn't say a must start in shallow leagues. You can probably pass on Calhoun, but in most leagues, he's a good start anyway. But if you're worried about the lefty-righty thing and Calhoun sitting against lefties, he'll have 6 righties to face this week. So plenty of at-bats for Calhoun. He's on a nice run now anyway, so keep him in your lineup.
Calhoun enters the weekend over the last 28 days, top 10 outfielder in Roto, top 30 in head-to-head points, but very close with a lot of other outfielders. Jake Odorizzi, very good at home. He's got 2 home starts, so start him.
And there you go, right? 2 home starts. Not very impressive just on Wednesday at Yankee Stadium. That doesn't really profile as a great matchup for Odorizzi. Considering that, actually, it wasn't a terrible start. So in a strange way, it's a little bit encouraging for Odorizzi. But I do like him pretty much any week where he starts twice at Tropicana Field.
It could be a very good week for Corey Dickerson now.
Yes, could. So all games at home this week. Coors Field, obviously. I don't worry too much about the splits with Dickerson, but obviously with a...
But it ain't a bad thing.
Right.
Being at home for 7 games and only 1 lefty on the schedule, too.
Yeah, so that helps.
Yeah, so he should be in the lineup and hopefully still producing. How about some sits for Fantasy Week 15? Doug Fister. Well, you know I always feel like he's too good to sit, but you're saying no, Baltimore at home, Philly on the road, sit Doug Fister?
Yeah, there's a couple of factors at play here because Fister for me is, in the past, he's been pretty much automatic as a 2-start pitcher. But as I said, there's a lot of variety out there, a lot of really good options available, widely available options for 2-start pitchers. So you don't have to necessarily go to Fister. And he really hasn't been himself lately. The results haven't been bad. He's really not striking anybody out. And this is somebody who's been sort of, at best, average as a strikeout pitcher, but right now he's below average. You're not really getting much more from him than you would, say, from Jeff Locke. So you really have to kind of recalibrate your expectations for Fister, not the first waiver option to go to.
Steve Pearce has been red hot. He's been a start for Scott White for a little while now, but this week Steve Pearce is a sit. Yeah,
tough matchups. He's got the Nationals and the Yankees, so going to be facing quite a few tough pitchers there. Also a couple of games in the NL against the Nationals. So there's one fewer lineup spot there for the Orioles to work Pearce into the lineup. And all that just adds up to him being not your optimal choice this week.
James Shields, man, he has been struggling. He's got a 2-start week at Tampa Bay, home against Detroit. Sit him down, huh?
I say so. And, very recently now, Justin Verlander has now been on a better run lately, last 3 starts. But prior to that, in this very segment, we were talking about how you can't just go on name recognition alone and history. And there were weeks where I was up here recommending you sit Justin Verlander. And I'm now at that point with James Shields. His struggles have been going on for the better part of the season. As with Verlander, Shields' strikeouts are down. He's getting clobbered by home runs and extra base hits in general. So enough's enough. He's had a long track record of success, but at this point, I'm not trusting Shields.
And on Thursday, we finally saw what a lineup looked like for the Pirates. Or excuse me, it was on Wednesday we finally saw it with Marte, McCutchen, and Polanco all playing in the outfield. Josh Harrison sat. So Scott White has Josh Harrison as a sit in Week 15.
Yeah, and I agree with Scott for sure on that, because it really it's a matter of time, I think, before Harrison starts to lose playing time and not get in the lineup. Certainly in the outfield, you've got three very productive options there. I don't think you're going to be sitting Neil Walker a lot or Pedro Alvarez to get Harrison in the lineup. He has cooled off a bit, and there's some tough pitching matchups on the horizon for the Pirates, so it all adds up for a pretty shaky week for Harrison.
Again, if you want more details, go to the website, fantasynews.cbssports.com. Check out the columns written by Al and by Scott White. Michael Herkin will help you up on the waiver wire as well. We've got a live show, noon Eastern time, Monday through Friday, Fantasy Baseball Today. We'll see you there. And good luck in Week 15, everyone. For Al Melchior, I'm Adam Azer for CBSSports.com.